All right, good night or good evening, I should say. It's about 6:30 here in Los Angeles, California, and I thought I'd give another stab at trying to put together a little video uh, on X-Plane this time around. And so I've took some time today, hopefully managed to get some of these audio problems sorted out here. So before we get started, I see we got a couple folks here in the live chat, which is great. You'll be my test crew here tonight. So first off, let me say hello, Sir Patrick and Caden Green. Hey y'all, and good evening. How's the sound so far? How do I sound here? Let me just ask you guys to be my guinea pigs here tonight. Uh, what's up, Brent? Hey, Caden, how you doing? How's the sound so far? Did you get my audio okay before I put everything else in here? What's up? It's going to be another COVID lockdown here, and the voice audio is great. Oh, thank God. All right, I've done a bunch of tests today, but um, you know how it is. You never know what you're going to get till the lights drop and the curtains open. An old showbiz thing. Anyway, I hope you'll bear with me on any little faux pause here tonight. So you'll see here our little plane, my 768 Foxtrot Sierra, which is not a G3, it's actually a G6, but we'll be having some fun tonight in the G3, is parked on the ramp at beautiful Monterey, California, which is one of the most beautiful places on the planet, I suppose, even if you're not a golfer. If you are a golfer, it is hallowed ground for sure, and it is one of my favorite places on the whole planet. So anyway, I want to thank you folks for coming along tonight. So tonight I'm going to try to concentrate on flying a little bit. It's a lot tougher flying the X-Plane Cirrus than it is flying a real one. So I hope I can get through that. I'll do tonight a couple times, I hope. What we can't do in a real airplane, and that's hit the pause button and chat a little bit. So anyway, let's get going. I'm going to try my best to lead you through exactly what I would do if I were flying a real flight this morning out of LA. It's obviously in the evening here now, but to make things simple and to give me some landmarks along the way, I'm going to make believe we're flying early in the morning from Monterey. I'm going to make believe we had a full day of golf the day before, and I played really well. So anyway, let me get going, and let's get you going here. I'm going to go click over here and let's get you over here. Let me open the door for you folks. Why don't you come on in there, step up, don't step on that wing. You'll make me very unhappy. Okay, get in the plane there with me, and let's close that door and get started here. The first thing I do when I get in the plane is I check my what I call my scorecard here, and that is the engine hours and my hobs. So right here, let's say we're going to go and start with, we got 133.33 on the hobs. I see. All right, so we'll put that in here. I see we've got 94.3 on the engine stuff here. And so now let's go back up into the cockpit. And what I do with that information, folks, is I put it on a little flight information form. Let me see if I can get that up here for you. I put it on a sheet just like this, and this is a little sheet that I've developed on my own. Actually, I probably ripped bits and pieces of it off of other pilots that I've seen on the internet, but particularly true with all the airline pilots who I note are very rigorous about their whole procedure and very disciplined about going through that. And as a newish pilot, I've only been flying about 4 years now, I enjoy that bit of discipline that these folks have. So that's what we're going to do here today and take a page out of that book. So those numbers I just got there, I'll put in the little Hobbs section. I also know that we have some fuel, and we'll pick that up a little bit later here. When I am flying, I have my ever-present ForeFlight. On our flight today, we got something called the Aviator's Tablet, which is I guess our explained version of the iPad. And so what the information that you get from these things, and today we'll make believe it's my iPad, it gives you all the relevant information that I need here. So first it's going to tell me that our elevation here at the airport is 255. I'll show you why that's important to me later. I'm going to put in my ATIS, which is 119.25. That will become important in a minute. Here in Monterey, like a lot of airports in Southern California, for sure, they have an actual clearance delivery frequency, which is 135.45. Our ground frequency here is going to be 120.875. And our departure is 127.15 and 133.5. We're going to go hold on to those for a minute because we'll get assigned one from tower. So I'm going to put in our tower of 118.4. Those little numbers are important again because I'm going to come back to all those in a minute here. So let me get rid of those right now, and let's go back to our regular transition here. Okay, let's get that one out of here. I'm playing around with another program here called OBS Studio. So I'm going to put something else over, so you're going to have to bear with me just a little bit here while I get all my stuff together over here. Okay, now the second thing that I would do on a normal flight is I would actually be filing a flight plan. When I do that with X-Plane, there's a great app I can't say enough about. It's called Pilot Edge, and it's an ATC type program here that gives you something that you can't have just sitting around playing with a simulator on your own, and that's real interaction with ATC folks. That pressure of having to do something in a timely fashion is actually really good for you. So at any rate, I'm going to file our flight plan here from Monterey back down to Santa Monica, California. We're going to start with this little form, so hopefully you can see it right here. As I'm going to start from the left. We're going to fly IFR. Our tail number is N768 Foxtrot Sierra. We're flying an SR-22. Our equipment code is Slant Golf. That tells the ATC folks that we have certain capabilities in the plane, which will help them in terms of giving us a route that we can handle. Our true airspeed, I calculated about $1.75. We are starting in departure location, which is KMRY for Monterey. We are heading for my home airport, Kilo Sierra Mike Oscar. We're going to go, it's going back to the east-ish, so let's put in 11,000. And our alternate airport, let's put in, let's see if we can't get in Santa Monica, let's just put in KCMA, which is Camarillo Airport. And now here's the part that I need to do. I'm going to put in my route here, and it's going to start with KMRY. Now I pull these routes on ForeFlight. I can't show you ForeFlight, or I haven't figured out how to show you ForeFlight yet, so we're going to do it old school. But I calculate these things. Or actually, I'll put in my flight plan the two endpoints, the start point KMRY, the end point KSMO, and then I'll ask the ForeFlight application to give me some recommendations on routes. And what it does, it'll typically bring up ATC routes that have been cleared frequently and that you're likely to get from ATC. So in this case, we're going to put KMRY, CARME, which is short for Carmel. Then it's Victor 27 Airway. Then it's MQO, then T257. Then Victor Tango Uniform, which is Ventura. Now we're getting down to SoCal. Victor 299. I don't think I've actually flown this route. Sadie, SADDE. Then Victor 107. I don't think this is a route we would get, so we might be changing this on the way. Let me get back and put Sadie in there. SADD. Hang on. Still got to be able to type, folks. Sadie. Then Victor 107. Normally we would be coming in on the RNAV 21, so we'll see what happens as we get further down the way there. We might get an amendment, or we might amend the route. And then KSMO. So now that all of that is in, I'm going to click File Flight Plan. And sure enough, the flight plan was successfully filed, and so that is all good. Um, so far, so good here. Now, let me get back over to our live stream here. So I can keep track of what's going a lot going on here. Okay, there we are. Connect streaming. Did that go to the right place here? I hope it did. Okay, hang on. I hope we're there. Oh, please be there, folks. Okay, there we are. Okay, phew, thought I lost you there, folks. Okay, just a quick break right now. Let me make sure that everything's working. Okay, excellent. Everything sounds like it's working good. Joseph Tucker, love all your viewers. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. They've helped me along my journey to get my PP out. Well, if I can do it, you can, my friend. Took the check ride 3 weeks ago and already working on the instrument. Smart man there. Christian Vetter, no relation to Eddie Vetter, I'm sure it's T. Hello, sir. The Incubus fan here. What's Cirrus add-on do you use? Okay, that's a great question. We'll stop before we get up in the air. I use a add-on called it's the Torque Sim SR22 Turbo Normalize. Previous to this Torque Sim flight model coming out, to be honest, all the Cirrus flight models that were out there were just not very good at all. They didn't provide any sense of reality. They didn't provide any sense of really what I was doing in the cockpit. And so it kind of left me not feeling great about all that stuff. So I skipped and moved away from the sim setup. But once Torque Sim came out recently, it really changed my whole outlook on how things are going. So I'll give you a little quick. Let's see if this will work here. All right. Pulling out all the tricks tonight, folks. I'm going to hit transition. Okay, well, there it is. I think it's working here. What I'm going to show you here is you're doing a little overhead shot, something kind of similar to what I try to do in the plane. This is my real sim gear setup here. You can't see the monitors up front here, but you can just make believe by looking at make believe you're looking at them right here. So anyway, here's all the stuff I have. So all of this provides me a really, other than the keyboard right here, which I use very little actually, just to kind of change some views around and so forth. But this gives me all the opportunity to touch and feel the buttons that I would do. Real Sim Gear has a new throttle quadrant that's coming out here that will really put the final finishing touches on giving me pretty much my Cirrus cockpit right here at my office in my desk. This is a G5 GCU right here. Hopefully within a week or so, maybe 2 weeks, I'll have my G6 setup, which requires a little bit different autopilot controller here. And then shortly thereafter, the throttle quadrant, and in fact, Real Sim Gear has on their website, if you want to check it out, the whole Cirrus cockpit, which is pretty remarkable. So anyway, that's a long digression from what am I using here. Let's see. The Torque Sim mod is great, but I find the MP warnings and that to be a bit frustrating. Well, you know what, Andrew? It's not perfect. That's for sure. There's lots of function in the Garmin avionics that are not quite on, but to be fair about it, the stuff in the actual Cirrus airplane is so extensive and so deep that it took Garmin forever to get it right. So to think that you could get all of that duplicated in a flight sim setup that you could use at home is probably asking a bit much. But this allows me to do all of the basic meat and potatoes IFR stuff that you would normally want to do. Aha, Sir Patrick, got the throttle quad and side stick coming on Wednesday. Where are you based, Sir Patrick? If you're in the neighborhood, I'd stop on by to see that. It's a tour Renault and let the oil temps get really high. Got the G1000. Okay. So again, everybody will have their review on this stuff. I think for me, just being able to practice the routine of the whole IFR discipline is what's important to me. So anyway, on that note, okay, so now we filed our flight plan. I've showed you, well, our stuff here, and now I'm going to go in and start getting some ATIS information and so forth. So let's fire this baby up here. All right, first things first. I'm going to go here and see if I can give you a little cockpit with overhead. All right, so I'm going to try, and you guys will tell me how this looks on YouTube. Give you a little something over here in the left corner is the over-the-shoulder shot, because you won't see me poking around up here on the keys like a lot of the X-Plane videos. And so hopefully this will all work out. First thing we're going to do is hit battery 2, and then I'm going to look down here. Let's go down here into 2. We've got to get back on my... let's see, down here you'll see when I went to hit battery 1 that the green light is not on right here. So now I'm going to hit battery 2, and let's go back up top, and now you will see that green light go on, are we not? I can't tell if my thing is... Oh, there we go. Okay, I had it on pause on my video. Okay. So now everything is working properly. Let's go back up top so you can see what's going on here. All right, so we've got them both firing up here. Okay, Garmin first on the left comes on. And now, okay, there we go. Whew. Thought we were going to have a... All right, so that beeping sound you hear, that irritating sound, is coming from a warning here for our oil pressure because the engine is not on. So we'll enter, we got 88 gallons of fuel here. So I'm going to put that over here on my sheet, and I'll skip you the overhead shot, but on that little flight info sheet, I'm going to enter 88 is my fuel on board right now, and get that. So we got battery 2. All right, we got battery 2. I'm going to turn down the audio.
Center at 13367.
There's something else here you're going to hear. Let's see if you hear it or not. I'm going to hit plus. Okay, let's see. Are we on? Okay, we are already connected to Pilot Edge, which is good. So now, we've got our two MFD or PFD and MFD are lit up now. Let's get our strobes on so everybody knows in the neighborhood that we're going to be firing up this airplane in a second. All right, so we're going to go down here. I'm going to put, that was already preset. We're going to put our mixture full. I'm going to put our throttle full. I'm going to go back up top again. I'm going to also give a little high boost. Let's go back down there again. I'm going to give a little high boost. 1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000, 4. Let's come back up top. Now, folks, if I'm doing something different in the G3 versus the G6, forgive me. I'm practicing my routine in the plane, and it's close enough for an amateur here. Okay, so we got those two going now. I've got my power. I'm going to pull back now. I'm going to set my switch to both now, so I'm ready to go. And now I'm going to give it a little boost on the boost and then fire it up. Let's hope that it goes. Oh, come on. Oh, you got to be kidding me now. Ah, good. Oh, I thought for sure it wasn't going to start on me here, and which would be a drag. But it's working now. Is that audio, folks, on the engine? How does that sound so far? Is that drowning anything out here? Turn it down. It's a little loud in my office here. Okay. All right, so we are fired up here. Let's put Alt 1. Let's go Alt 2 now. Let's put our avionics on. I'm flying the turbo, Andrew, just FYI. And we've got Saul, the pilot. I think he's from Brazil. Okay, everything's looking good so far. All right, great. I'm going to try not to, don't take it personally, I'm going to try not to pay so much attention to the fact that I got folks looking over my shoulder here. So anyway, right now everything's firing up here. We're looking good. So the first thing I want to do, and I've actually preloaded some of these, so let me see if I can give you a little bit closer look. And I don't know if you can you guys see this little mouse circling around up here in the PFD? Anyway, I've got my a couple of the frequencies already loaded. I've got my ATIS in standby on COM 2, and I've got my clearance delivery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the COM button up here. I'm going to switch,
altitude,
and now we're going to get our
flight
ATIS.
Following as requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information November. Monterrey Peninsula Airport. 8 is information November. 0154 Zulu. Wind 100 at 4. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 10. Dew point 8. Altimeter 3021. Arriving and departing runways 28 left, 28 right. Visual approaches in use. VFR departure contact clearance delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial
Okay, so now we've got our ATIS. We've got winds at 100 knots in 4. Now this is the weather currently in Monterey, so it's a little bit different than it would have been in the morning, but we're just going to go with it for right now. So I'm going to put in my altimeter 13021. It looks like we're taking off on runway 28 left and right, which is all good. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to contact Monterey Clearance Delivery. We are parked at Del Monte Aviation. We've got our ATIS and get our clearance for Santa Monica. So let's do that right now. I think we've got them loaded up here. Excuse me. Monterey Delivery, Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra at Del Monte Aviation with November. I'd like to pick up my IFR flight plan to Santa Monica, Kilo Sierra Mike Oscar.
Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra Monterey clearance denied.
Standing by 8 Foxtrot Sierra. Your comments here, starting can be tricky when on the TS mod. That was all showbiz there, Andrew. I did this 5 times today and it started right up. Of course, as soon as I got some folks in the neighborhood here, it choked up on me. So anyway, all's well that ends well. All right, while we're waiting here, folks, I don't know if that little overhead shot is more irritating than helpful, so feel free to weigh in on that. I'm going to go check to make sure my brake is set down here. And it is, so I'm going to go back up top and take my foot off.
768 Foxtrot Sierra, clear to Santa Monica Airport, Monterey 5 departure, Chewy. Sierra Hotel Oscar Echo Yankee. Direct KMRY filed, except after T257, it'll be to San Marcos, Romeo Zulu Sierra, Victor 186, Darts, that's Delta Alpha Romeo Tango Sierra, direct. Maintain 5, correction, maintain 7,000, expect 1000 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 121.3, squawk 7042.
Okay, let me read that back to you and make sure I got it right. So we're cleared to Santa Monica. We're going to fly the Monterey 5 departure to Shoei, then direct, and I didn't get the identifier on the next piece there.
Direct A Foxtrot Sierra, it's actually the first 6 minutes I put in KMRY.
Say again, please. I can't hear you.
KMRY, Charlie Alpha Romeo Mike Echo, it's what you had filed as your first 6.
Okay, got it. Okay, KMRY. Okay. All right, so let me try that again. We're in Santa Monica, Monterey 5 departures, showy, then direct KMRY, then as filed, except that where we had T257, we're going to have to replace that with San Marcos, then Victor 186 starts direct, 7,000 to start, 11,010, 121.3 on the departure frequency, 7042 on the squawk, 8 Foxtrot Sierra.
Just 8 Foxtrot Sierra, just to clarify, so T257 will remain in the flight plan. It's just you'll stop tracking T257 at San Marcos, at which point you'll pick up one Victor 186.
Gotcha. Okay, so at 257, we're going to pick up San Marcos, then Victor 186, then darts direct, and the rest, as we discussed, 8 Foxtrot Sierra.
No, 8 Foxtrot Sierra, read back correct to 8 left to 8 right or in use.
Got it. Let me program that, and I'll come back to you. Thanks for your help, 8 Foxtrot Sierra.
Delta 1599, contact
Okay.
Los Angeles Center 124.62.
All right. Okay, let's go put that into our flight plan here. So first thing we're going to do is we got Monterrey.
Okay, 306,
Let's put
contact
in
Salt
here
Lake Center
procedure,
128,
departure,
correction,
Monterey 5
125.57,
departure,
2557.
taking off on 28 left, and it's going to be showy as our transition. We're going to load that. Okay, then we've got, all right, now we're back to our flight plan. Okay, great. So CARM. Let me switch you over here.
Walker 306, Salt Lake Center, thank you.
Okay, so KMRY we've got in there now. Hopefully you can see that, folks. That's in the flight plan now. Now we've got Victor 27, so we'll go menu, load airway, Victor 27. We're going to get out on MQO. Okay, great. Okay, then we've got next T257 procedure. Oops, back, sorry. Menu, load airway. We want T257 at RZS is where that ends. Okay, nice. Then from there, we want Victor 186. So we're going to hit menu again, load airway. That's more like what we were talking about earlier. Victor 186, let's come on down. There's Victor 186. And then the waypoint, you'll never forget if you fly out of Santa Monica, that's darts. And then we're going to fly direct to KSMO. KSMO, enter. And then let's just go run it back from the top, make sure this all makes sense. Flight plan integrity is what my flight instructor Liz DeStefani, now Cirrus sales rep, used to tell me all the time. So we're taking off on 28 left, we're going to go to 1,100 feet, and then we're going to intercept that radial to showy, then KMRY as filed, Victor 27. Then RZS, okay, then Victor 186 to Van Nuys and darts, and then KSMO. Okay, all that looks good. All right, great. That's all programmed. So now let's go take care of the rest of the stuff here. Now I'm going to go back to my little overhead shot here so you can see what I'm doing. What I like to do is work backwards. So 7042 was the squawk, so I'm going to go over here to squawk and then 7042, and I've got 7042. And one of the little quirks of the sim is I've got to go over here to transponder and click ALT so that is I was picking up my altitude. That happens automatically on my Cirrus. So let's go up top now. 121.3 is actually loaded. Let's go shove that over for a second because we want to put in tower 118.4. For me, I like to have my departure frequencies up top. There's 814, and then we're going to switch that over. So now we've got, let's go back up to, let's go, I'm trying to keep my wits about me here, folks. Let's go up top here so you guys can see this. Okay, so 118.4 is now the tower frequency. I've got my departure frequency 121.3. 3 in there, and we're all good there. And then while I'm at it though, let's go down to our frequencies again, and I'm going to go switch down to here. We got 11925, which is our 80s. We don't need that anymore, so we want our ground frequency. Oh Christ, with it. Ground is 128.75. 120.875 is ground here. Let's flip that over, and now we're gonna. What I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna put in 11915 ahead of time, which is my ATIS frequency for Santa Monica. So we'll just get that out of the way right now while we're at it. Okay, and now we're all set. Let's go back up top. Okay, so now 121.3 is all set in there. So now I'm going to set 7,000 is my altitude. So I've got that in there right now. We've got our Monterrey 5 departures loaded, I think. Okay, so we're all ready to go, I believe, right now. So let me take a sip of my water here. All right, beautiful. All right, before we get going, how we doing?
172 Sierra Papa, about
Okay, I'm going to turn that
9
down.
miles southwest, landing with Delta.
What are you using for live ATC? It's a thing called Pilot Edge. I showed it a little bit earlier. Some of this video is all posted. You can take a look at it. But you go to pilotedge.net, I believe it is. Just an unbelievably great tool when you're learning how to fly. It gives you a little bit of that pressure of having ATC. I see we've got Genevieve Kidwell. Yeah, that live ATC is amazing. Nice to have you here, Genevieve. It's nice to have a female touch in here. Too many guys. My flight instructor was Stephanie. I loved her. Okay, so now we are all set. I'm going to stop talking to you folks here for a minute. I'm going to go taxi down to runway 28, right. Okay, so now we've got, let's go to COM2 is loaded there. And let me just make sure I have the right frequencies there. I'm going to go take a quick peek over here. And I do. Okay, so let's go. Monterey ground, Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra at Del Monte Aviation with November ready to taxi.
So 76 Foxtrot Sierra, Monterey ground, runway 28 left taxi Alpha.
Monterey ground, Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra at Del Monte Aviation with November ready to taxi.
So 768 Foxtrot Sierra, runway 28 left, clear, correction taxi via Alpha.
All right. Hopefully we haven't lost. Did we lose ATC? Radio check, ATC. Radio check.
768 Foxtrot Sierra, Monterey ground, how do you read?
Got you now, 8 Foxtrot Sierra.
Okay, 768 Foxtrot Sierra, runway 28 left, taxi via Alpha.
28 left, taxi via Alpha, 8 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you. Okay, so now let's get on out of here, and I'm going to show you something else here. Let's go back to that. I'm going to pull up the taxi diagram here for Monterey, and it's going to show us where we are on this taxi diagram. Okay, so I'm going to just tuck that up here so you can kind of get an idea of where we're going, and let's get busy here. Okay, so let's brakes off and let's go. I'm going to get rid of that for right now. Okay, so normally here I would be going through all my checklist and the like, and what you'll see here, and I'm not going to mess with it right this second. I just want to get myself acclimated here. I got the wrong checklist up there, and it'll take me a while to get it all sorted out. So before starting engine, we did that. Okay, flaps are up, radio and avionics are set. Okay, next one, parking brakes off. We got brakes right there. We've got HSI orientation is good. Our attitude gyro is good. Come on, let's just get it straight here. Yeah, it's funny on X-Plane, the pedals and everything are so sensitive. It's like you just think about them and they go crazy on you. So I'm going to pay attention here. In my real plane, I can do much better. Attitude gyro, turn coordinator. Let's look. You got a little bit of turn coordinator going there. Okay, that's all good. So we're going to come around this corner here. Get it on a straight road here. Okay, so there we are. Follow us down the road here. I'm just going to keep as close to those things and then we'll get rid of that. Okay. All right, so this is a little taxi thing that I'm used to here, which is, just love it. I get my Flight up here. I'm going to cheat off to the side here on you folks. Okay, same thing. If you can't get Flight, I think you should. I'm looking at my chart on Flight. That basically is the same thing as this. It tells me where we are on the taxiways. And the taxiways just seem so easy when you're in an airplane. You think everybody knows where they're going, but the truth of the matter is, it can be very complicated when you get on something that's not just a straight one runway airport. I did a little flight into San Francisco last night.
Seattle Clear, Airport 425, request IFR to Boise with information Alpha on board.
All right. All right, I got a brand new Bose headset. I bought myself an early Christmas present. A Bose gaming headset, which is really nice.
Okay, 425, Seattle clearance. Clear to Boise International Airport, Suma 2 departure.
Which allows me to control the ATC volume.
Maintain 900,000, expect level 3.
Patrick, having that sip of wine. God bless you.
Departure frequency 1.
I never fly after drinking and saucing in the real world, but I have been known to take a little sip before I get on the sim. So, don't tell anybody. All right, okay, here we're coming up on the run-up area over here, and so let's pull in here. This is an area that you actually cannot see, or the ATC can't see, so you got to be careful over here and pay attention. Okay, so here we are, and let's get over the corner here, and let's turn this baby around.
Walker 420, correction, Walker 425, read back correct, and expect. Only 16 left for departure.
All right, there we are. Okay, so I'm going to go put our brake on again. There's the brake. Back to the cockpit here. And let's do our run up here. Okay, so let's finish up that checklist. Okay, before takeoff, doors are latched and closed. Caps handle. Okay, it's up behind me here, folks, so you're going to forgive me. We'll have to use your imagination. If you notice, if you've ever watched my videos, you'll know that I typically have my red pin right here, which makes it nice and easy. It's Velcroed in between the PFD and the MFD, and I haven't lost it once in 2 years. Seatbelt and shoulder harnesses are secure. No air conditioning today. Our fuel quantity is on the fullest tank. Let's just check and make sure she's on the fullest tank. Now it is. Okay, let's also close the door to our glove compartment, and let's go back up top. Let's see, we've got fuel quantity. Okay, let's get you in there tight so you can see that here. We got fuel quantity, we've got fuel selector, the fuel pump is on. Let's just confirm that. Flaps are 50, let's get those confirmed. Let's go outside. You can see the flaps are coming down and they are 50 now. Let's go back to here. The transponder is set at 7042. That is correct. Autopilot, let's test the autopilot. So the heading, let's put in heading mode right now, and then go autopilot. And so we did. Okay, so let's get rid of heading mode now. And what I like to do is hit my takeoff go around button. So that's all set. Navigation radios are set. We got 121.3 up top. We got 118.4 tower inactive. Cabin heat frost not an issue today. Our brakes are rolling. So let's go to our engine page and go up to 1700 RPM. A little sensitive here.
Your direction from the field at
Yeah, not bad today. Okay, nav. We're going to put our nav lights. We got our strobe lights on. We got our landing lights on, which pushes this up just a little bit here. Where are they? Over here. There we are. We've got our ice lights on. Pitot heat will blow that baby up. Now I'm going to click off one and all sheds, and all 2 picks it up. I'm going to put that one back, let it recover.
Thank you. Report 3 mile left base runway 27.
And all 1 picks it up. That's all good. So let's kill the pitot heat. Let's kill the ice. Let's kill the landing light. And let's kill the nav right now. Daylight. Okay, and now let's check our mags. We got 1700 as a starting point. Left mag is a 80 drop. Back to 1700. Right mag 40 drop. Both of those are acceptable. Let's come back to 1000. Back to our checklist. Okay, brake power lever is good. Alternators, we checked all that. Voltage is
calling ready and ground. Sorry, calling the radio checker
required.
from
Nav lights are on. Magnetos we've checked. Engine parameters are all in the green. That's good. Power's back to 1000. Flight instruments are set and correct. Flight controls. Let's check our flight controls. Left is up, right is down. Elevator's working.
Yeah, we're on the ground at Chandler, ready to depart, runway 4 left, heading 04
on
4500. Going to
typically, I don't know if
Deer Valley via the Phoenix
here.
VOR
Right,
and
let's set it right in the middle. On this sim, I actually trim it down a little bit because this thing gets very jumpy. Autopilot is disconnected. Okay, now we're all set, and so we're going to go. The next checklist I want, I'm going to go up 1, and I want the climb checklist, and then we're going to go back to our flight plan. And there she is. Okay. Okay, a little breather here, make sure I got everything together. I've got 7,000 up top. I've got 7042. I'm going to fly to 1,100 feet. And now, we're going to do a quick takeoff briefing here. I'm going to show you something here. Let me switch this over here. Okay, this is my takeoff briefing.
19.2,
A lot of folks that have seen some other videos have asked about. So I'm going to fill in the information I got here. You know that their airport elevation is 255. So our caps altitude is plus 600 over AGL. So that would be 855 is what I call our magic number here. Our best caps is 2,000 feet above. So that's going to be 2255 is going to be our best caps. Our current temperature was 10 degrees. Our wind speed and direction was 100 and then 4. Our sky condition was clear. Our altimeter was 3021. We're going to do a normal takeoff on runway 28 left, I believe she said. The runway length was let's go back over here. Our runway length, let's go back to KMRY. Let's go back. Let's see, our runway, let's just go back here. Our runway length is going to be, on 28 right that she gave me, was 3,500 feet. It's about 7175, so I hope she gives us 28 left here. So our, let's just put in 7175. And our runway used. Okay, now in our takeoff briefing, I'm not going to be able to show you this, but I'm going to just, what I do is when I have this thing done on my 4 flight, what I'll do, let me get rid of that other one right here. When I do this on Flight, I put it over into the flight section, and what it does is it calculates all the information you need for an airport here. So in this case, it's telling me I've got 1,063 feet to get off the ground and above 50. So that's what I'm going to put in there. Our direction departure is going to be runway heading. Our cruising altitude is going to be 7 to start and 11 once we get going. Our time en route, according to Flight, is 1 hour and 16 minutes based on the current temperature and so forth right now. So here's my emergency takeoff briefing. If we have an emergency on the runway, I'm pulling the power, applying the brakes, and aborting the takeoff. If we have an engine failure at less than 855 feet, I'm going to pitch for 92, mixture cutoff, tanks off, ignition off, land straight ahead. If I have an engine failure between 855 and 2255, I'm going to pull the parachute, mixture off, tanks off, ignition off, flaps, anything else will be a bonus, and we're going to float straight ahead. If we have an engine issue above 2255, we'll have a chance to come back to the airport. And that is our takeoff briefing. All right. And I'm going to chase you down to Santa Monica, and the Citation will leave about 30 minutes. Okay, great. I'd love to go fly in a Citation. So another sip of water here, folks. All right, I believe that we are now ready to rumble here. So let's just pull up. Let's go and ask our controller whether we're going 28 right or 28 left. Monterrey ground, Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra at the 28 run up. Are you having me go on 28 left or 28 right? I prefer 28 left if possible.
768 Foxtrot Sierra, sign runway is runway 28 left.
Okay, I'm ready to go. Should I just switch over to the tower and pull up?
768 Foxtrot Sierra, yes.
Thank you so much. Thanks for all your help today. Okay, she's the same one we're going to get up here. So let's just go back to my plates here, and we're going to just go off to the right here. Actually, let's go back over to here. I think we're all set. All right, that's what we want. Is 28 left over there. Let's get rid of our brake here and put that back in. All right, so let's go to the right here and get busy.
Phoenix approach Skyhawk 228 Quebec, just departed 4 left at Chandler, climbing at 1,500, climbing 4,500.
There's our
permission to transfer or transit the class Bravo airspace via the Phoenix BOR to Deer Valley.
228 Quebec, Phoenix approach. Verify your transponders on. I'm not showing you on my radar here.
Okay, so we're going to put it in nav mode here.
Yeah, it looks like we're on. Let me go to the client and see if we can get on there.
Approaching runway 28 left.
All righty, so let's go switch
What
over
you
now
on
to
if you could eyes
number
it for me.
Monterey Tower, Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra, holding short 28 left.
November 768 Foxtrot Sierra, Monterey Tower, runway 28 left, clear for takeoff.
28 left, clear for takeoff, 8 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you. Okay,
So
good.
228 Quebec, you are radar contact, 2.5 miles northeast of Chandler. Are you familiar with the...
Runway 28 left. 6,800 feet remaining.
Stand by.
All right, let's give it a go. Let's get her on the center line here. All right, let's get rolling here. Okay, she's firing up. Okay, get that right rudder in there, full power.
228 Quebec, are you familiar with the westward transition?
1,004,
No, ma'am, I am not.
All right, full power is
So
in.
228 Quebec, so you're pretty much going to be
55, got speed. Let's
crossing
go off.
over the approach end for runway 8, runway 707
Okay, flaps up.
If you take up a westbound heading, so you're pretty much parallel to the runways, until you're directly south of the airport. Report south of Phoenix Airport.
Okay, click
Remain
our
on path
indicated
evidence.
airspeed in there.
Okay, we'll parallel the runways to the south, and we'll report midfield on
Get that
the
thing
X runway
trimmed down. That
for 228
yoke's a
Quebec.
little sensitive. Okay, our magic number is 855 is our caps available. Caps available. Indicated airspeed, let's get that to 120. Okay, and let's, now that we got her going here, let's get turned into that turn at 1100 here, and let's hit our autopilot. So I'm going to do a little bit earlier here than I would normally do, just because it's tough fighting that pressure there. Okay, let's take a look out the window and see the beautiful Carmel coast, and then go back to our map and make sure that we are doing what we're supposed to be doing here. Okay, now we're going to intercept.
Great Foxtrot Sierra, contact departure.
Contact departure 8 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you. Locale departure Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra 2600 climbing 7.
Great 768 Foxtrot Sierra, NorCal departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 11,000.
Climb maintain 11,000 8 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you. Okay, let's pull back our power a little bit. I think it likes 28 is our manifold pressure, I believe. So let's get it back down into there. Let's get our mixture down in here. We got too high pitot heat required. I got all of that. Of course, we got a million things happening out of the box here. Let's get our pitot heat on. Let's get our flight plan. Let's go back to our checklist. Our climb oxygen not
Clear
required.
768 Foxtrot Sierra, enable clear direct big surge on Victor 27.
Clear direct. Hang on.
Sorry, Foxtrot Sierra, big sur, Bravo Sierra, Romeo VOI, it's on Victor 27.
Got it. Clear BSR 8 Foxtrot Sierra. Thank you. Okay, go direct. Enter. Nav. Okay, we're going over there. All right. Great.
Okay, 306, do you have a bridge request? You're just going in visual.
All right, so there's a little view out the window here. There's what it looks like in the air.
Okay, 306, fly heading 250, get you, turn that a little more to the left so we can get you down a little further once you
What
get
the heck
closer.
was that? Jesus Christ.
Number 2, Quebec, if you like to reference the transition, you can pull up the Phoenix tag chart, and it should just read east-west VFR transition route, or something similar to that. That'll kind of give you an overview of what you're about to do.
Okay, we see that with the north-south arrows there on the west side of the runway depiction there.
Affirmative.
All right, so let's just check.
Canada 311 Seattle Center.
Check our scorecard. Going direct. BSR. We got 30 miles to get there. We're in GPS mode. We're on autopilot. Yaw dampers engaged. We're climbing at 120 knots. Climbing 11,000. Here, let's sync up our heading.
Northeast. with Delta.
Canada 311, you are radar contact, 8 miles southeast of Vancouver, climb to final 370.
All right, anybody still there online? I don't see any comments coming out. I wonder if the stream is still working here. It looks like everything's going.
Canada 311, Friday, hub altimeter if you need a 3043. No 1720 Papa Station.
2 miles north of the runway, requesting landing with Delta, 01720.
Canada 1720 Papa, the last instruction I gave you was to report a 3-mile left base runway 27. Also, I advised Delta was no longer current and you needed to pick up Echo. Not sure why you're north of the airport now, but join the right downwind for runway 27, right downwind runway 27, clear to land.
Thank you, Patrick. Sir Patrick, I should say. Where are you from, Sir Patrick?
One 1720 Poppy, copy.
All right, good. All right.
Right, you go ahead.
6 minutes. Okay, good. That was pretty smooth-ish, I'll say. Wasn't bad. Let's go take a look out top here. Enjoy the view here.
Canada 1720 Papa, just FYI, you turned westbound, which puts you on the opposite direction for the
Yeah, it's really a beautiful flight. I've made this flight to.
Nature of this deviation, I recommend trying our pilot training program. You can access
I'm
it
listening
from
to
the
the
pilot center
controller.
link on the
I've made
pilot
this
or
flight a
link
number of
in
times.
the
I can't tell you how much I enjoy it, but mostly because I love playing golf. There's no greater place to do it than Pebble Beach. But also, I love the flying part of it as well. Texas, California, Vegas, and the Philippines for Sir Patrick. Well, that's a lot of addresses. This pilot edge is really great too. Speed needs 2SP, yeah. Well, you know what? A lot of folks are really using this to learn. I wish I would have had, frankly, pilot edge when I first started my training. I did use X-Plane 11, or probably X-Plane 10 when I started, a Cessna 172 to get me familiar with the procedures and so forth on IFR flying. And it's been really helpful for me. And I can't tell you how much I love it. Makes it real, puts a little edge on it, so to speak, and that's good for new pilots. They actually have to.
Phoenix approach Skyhawk 228 Quebec has the west route transition instructions.
To actually talk to ATC.
228 Quebec, thank you. West route VFR transition is approved.
How are the levels tonight, folks? ATC versus pilot versus engine. Is everything seem balanced?
3010, and in case I didn't say it, you're cleared through Phoenix Bravo Airspace.
Okay, clear to the Phoenix Bravo airspace west transition between the approach end of the runways at 4,500 to Skyhawk 228 Quebec.
All right, so I see we're on the pink line now here, which is great. Right here, I don't know if you can you guys see that little cursor when I'm running it up and down there? I can't tell if that's just on my computer or yours, but if you look over on the MFDR plane, it's right on the pink line. That makes me very happy. All right, thanks, Catherine. Sir Patrick, a retired naval officer, private pilot, happily retired in Vegas, 6 months a year in San Jose to Buena Vista. Okay, great. Nice. Yeah, I'm actually watching a little monitor. I've got three things going on my screen right now. Off to the left-hand side, I have my YouTube screen, which I'm looking at with you folks. In the middle, I have my PFD and MFD view. And then over on the right, I have my OBS studio, which is where I'm doing some of the switching and so forth. It's actually very, very cool. Back to this SR22 model that they have. The Torque Sim guys have done just an amazing job on. You see right here, and I'm really noticing it tonight, is the level of detail they've managed to get out of X-Plane with regard to the synthetic vision. It really is amazing what they've done. And I'm going to load up my synthetic vision, so when we get in the terminal area, you'll see I have my pathways, which I use a lot. And we've reached our cruise altitude now, so I'm letting the plane speed up a little bit. I'm going to go back to my flight plan now and go back to the checklist here. And we've got our climb checklist. We did all of that. Engine parameters were good. Now we're at cruise, and our oxygen is not required at 11,000. Power lever is good. Our fuel flow should be between 17.0 and 17.6. We're 17.2, ready to copy there. Our airspeed's about 150 knots, and our electric fuel pump is there. And I keep that fuel pump gun there all the time, frankly, in my turbo. And so let's go back to the flight plan. Let's go back to our checklist here. Everything is set, and so we're ready to go. Now we're just flying.
Okay, 306 cleared visual approach. And you can report as cancellation on the ground. Within 5 minutes, landing on 122.2 or airborne, this frequency, change to master frequency.
Check 12, check 12. Okay, so, but let me ask you on that ATC audio, is it...
Okay, 3065 for cancellation received. Clock C5 frequency change approved.
Is it good levels overall?
So 36 Julia Charlie, Boeing clearance, you said Alpha to Copenhagen.
I'll lower her a little bit.
Yes, ma'am.
The lower it just a little bit. Have you ever tried in real life or sim navigating with the GPS old-fashioned style? Yes, I have. And I do that from time to time where I'll just go fly, hand fly everything.
36 Julia Charlie, clear to Copenhagen Airport, Nirvana 1 departure, Nirvana, progression radar vector, Seattle. Kindly said, expect 4,000 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 4, squawk 3211.
I do fly there frequently, without autopilot. I'm going to hit mute for just a second. Does that mute the, there, I got to mute the audio there. I've got it in my headset, but you're not hearing it. But what it's interesting is I use all the very same functions that I would use with autopilot. VNAV whenever I can, long track offsets whenever I can. I use the pathways whenever I can, and I think that for some of the more traditional pilots to learn without all of that stuff, I just have the greatest respect in the world for those folks. But I have a Cirrus, and I had a glass panel set up when I bought my first little plane, an experimental plane called a Sling. I'm going to turn her down a little bit. A Sling 4, and I liked it because it provided me comfort. I drive a Tesla. I'm a big fan of technology, so yes, I do practice from time to time and make believe that all this stuff went south on me.
128.7.
128.7, 8 Foxtrot Sierra.
Monterrey clearance, orientation 31 Whiskey Golf, information Oscar IFR 2 Cinema.
Oakland Center, Sierra 768, Foxtrot Sierra, level 11, 11,000.
Thank you, Pastoral 05, Senator 3016.
3016 for Paso Robles. Thank you, 8 Foxtrot Sierra.
312 Whiskey Golf, Monterey clearance, stand by.
All right, so I turned the ATC down a little bit. I also noticed that, I'm just kind of doing all this stuff on the fly here, folks. I noticed that I can actually mute her up here, which is good as well. So, and when I mute her, I can still hear her on my headset, which is great. and I can control the volume separately on my little Bose gaming headset. Big fan of Bose. I don't know what kind of headsets most folks use here, but I keep trying other things, and I always come back to Bose. They're light, they're comfortable, it's quality stuff, customer service off the hook, and they're one of the best companies around, if you ask me. Okay, let's take a look out the front here and see what we got. Pacific Ocean. Anybody here played around with the new Microsoft Flight Sim 2020? I got it right out of the box. The graphics, what the heck happened there? A little turbulence, I guess. Off the hook, the graphics just ridiculous. But because I like to use the flight sim not to be, 65-year-old, 14-year-old. I use it to help me with my training. It's a tool for me, and so the flight sim model for the SR-22 was just crap, if you ask me. I shouldn't say that. It wasn't great. I actually paid a little bit extra for their premium version just to get it, and I was hugely disappointed with it. And I think there's also, I expect that over time, that they will find ways to make it better, and that the infrastructure and the little ecosystem that's developed around X-Plane 11 will ultimately take hold. If the guys from Torque Sim told me that they were making a model for Microsoft 2020, I would give it another look. But for now, I'm doing it on X-Plane, and I couldn't be happier with the level of the stuff that's out there today. And it's just amazing, and particularly the flight stuff. All the stuff you see right here that makes it so that you don't have to mess around and play computer. I don't really use the computer for much, other than to change the views, from time to time. So if I want to change view, then I hit the button. If I want to go looking left over the mountains, look over here. If I want to, let's see, what else do I have here? Let's go back and keep it safe. Alrighty. So when I'm in my plane, okay, let's take a couple more questions. I haven't wait for my real sim here. I want to run it on two PCs, but it's not as straightforward as X-Plane. Okay, I'm actually going to fly the Citation in the MSFS. It's a mod. The out-of-the-box planes are really bad. Let me ask you this, folks. How many of the folks here tonight, I guess we got about 31 people. How many folks are actual real pilots, and how many of you are just like flying on a sim? Okay, folks, I'm not the only one that was unimpressed with MS-2020. I think it's great if you're a gamer, I think. My kids are big gamers. I'm surprised tonight. I'm in my office here, which you can't really see. But recently, my oldest son has been out here playing Call of Duty, and out here in the office while I'm over here on the sim. So it's two generations of Rennies. We're both out here playing games. But for me, like I said, this is a training tool for me, and it's been actually fun here over this past weekend. Cutherman, real pilot, all right, great. It's been fun for me to actually take the time and figure out some of the tricks of the X-Plane world. This little one right here I just love. Let me get back. This little aviator thing here, which is awesome. While we're at it, let's go do a little homework for Santa Monica. I'm a real life pilot. I just actually bought an SR-22 turbo last month, Andrew. What kind did you get? G5, G6, G3? Love talking airplanes here. All right, while you're coming back to me on that, I'm going to go do a little search here and get some information on KSMO for Santa Monica. Okay, there's all the information for Santa Monica. All right, so I'm going to start putting in all the information. I know this stuff, but I'm going to act like I don't. 11915 is my ATIS. My tower is going to be 120.1, and 121.9 is my ground frequency. The elevation at the airport there is 175 feet. So we got all that information. Now let's go back and see what else they got here. We're going to probably get the RNAV 21 approach. So let's go and get that one loaded up here so we've got it ready to go. The same way, and now, by the way, I do all this on my iPad. So now we've got the approach up there and we're all good. All right, so I'm going to get ATC back on board here so you can hear a little bit of that. Let me know if...
So takeoff correction, Oscar just became current. Expect runway 10 right.
All right, folks, I'm going to lower the volume on ATC so we can have a little conversation here because I can hear pretty loud and clear. So I've moved ATC down, so you guys tell me if you notice a little bit difference on the ATC volume and see if that's okay. Jeremy Deesa, I'm going to buy an SR22. Andrew Sinclair bought a G6 2018. That's what I have, a G6 2018. Do you get a turbo or just normalized one? Or non-turbo, I guess. Or a little turbulence up here, I guess, too. That thing's bouncing around. Okay, let's switch our tanks over. Let's go down here and let's confirm. Let's go down to 3 here. Let's switch our tank. Okay, we got good temps. Everything's looking good. Jeremy's sticking with the non-turbo. That's cool. It's a great plane. You know, out here in Southern California, we got so many mountains, you got to have a turbo. Makes a huge difference up in the mountains, folks, I'll tell you that. Huge difference. Angie, I definitely plan to come out to SoCal. All right, good. Well, if you land at Santa Monica, you're going to need to make that RNAV 21 approach, so... Catherine, I hear you on the planes. They're all, it's an expensive hobby flying an airplane, I'll tell you that. That's what, how's the audio on ATC now? Okay, Andrew Sinclair, you bought it with 2 partners. Okay, you know what? You know, I had my G6 for, I bought it by myself. Not great with partners sometimes, but recently I did actually decide to lease 50 hours to a friend of mine who was a pilot friend, attorney buddy. And at first I was just nervous as you could possibly be, you know, because I'm so anal about that airplane. You know, I won't let anybody drink anything other than water in it, you know. God forbid you drop something on the floor in there, I'll probably kill you. Anyway, my buddy is equally attentive, shall we say, to keeping things nice and easy. And so it's actually worked out pretty good. And the plane saves me a little bit of money, or actually not so much saves me money as it brings in an extra dough to carry, to cover fuel costs and so forth. And but I don't know that it'll ever get more than that. He flies it. (135.5) for LA Center 8 Foxtrot 0. Thank you. Let me handle a little frequency change here. Okay, let's go back to the cockpit here. Let's go back to the cockpit. We want 135. Let's just go up here. Okay, we're going to go COM 1355. That's LA Center, which is good. LA Center, Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra, level 11, 11,000. For San Luis, 8 Foxtrot Sierra. Okay, we got that all set. Let's go back to. All right. Okay, ATC is a little low now. Okay. Let's put that in just a little bit. I appreciate the help here, gentlemen and ladies. Genevieve, if you're still here. Now I moved it up a few dBs. Oops, let's go back one here. There's about 35. Okay, tell me how that sounds. I'm not great with parts. It's tough. It's tough. Been married 31 years. That's a partnership. It's tough. Okay, we're making our nice little gentle turn now to blank to Kayla. So let's look at what that scorecard again. That's really. Let's go up top here to 8. We'll move in a little closer. Let's check our scoreboard. We're going blank to Kalis. We've got 20 miles. We're still in GPS. We still got autopilot. The yaw damper is still engaged. Our altitude is holding 11. We got a buck 54. We're doing about a buck 81 over the ground because we got a nice 20 mile an hour, 20 knot breeze behind us, which is really nice. Love that. Tim Scott, thank you very much for the kind words. Just bought a 22T 2017. That word anal is the word I was actually looking for. You know, yeah, I'm very, what are my old English friends say? Very persnickety, Steve. And I am. I like a clean machine. I polish that thing up when I'm done. I've got my covers on the wings and covers across, you know, everything but the tail on the plane. And the guys who clean my plane are always dogging me about it. But I said, hey, that plane's going to look clean. The guy that buys it from me is going to be very happy one day. Not anytime soon, though. So you're working on your instrument rating. I got to say, for any folks out there that are actually contemplating that instrument rating, I don't know if any of you guys are golfers, but getting an instrument rating is like the difference between being an 18 handicap and a 3 handicap. And I love the whole discipline of flying IFR. I like having the input from the ATC guys in executing. So, Cape Voice, Ren, I'm flying right now too. Took a break from the SR-22 G6, using a PC-12 right now around South Florida. Is that a real PC-12 you're using, or just flying on the sim? There's a PC-12 parked right next to me in Santa Monica, and that is a beast of an airplane. Go back out and enjoy that beautiful view here. Just love the internet. Here we are, chatting from around the world, talking shop about airplanes. I'm learning some new tricks here about the. There's my Andrew Sinclair, big golfer. Agree with you. I love it. Notice I got the 768 Foxtrot Sierra in there. I can't get that silver paint job. I have it's called a platinum look on the Sierras, and I love it. Carrying out a PC-12 and X-Plane. Also, I'm going to be going for my pilot license next, being trained in the SR-20. Can't wait. Cape Voice, I got to tell you, you know, when I started flying, I started at a place called Santa Monica Flyers in Santa Monica, California. And we flew these little sport cruisers, which were fun little planes. One day I came out to fly, you know, the rental day that I'd set up, and got pimped on it. And one of the other instructors there took my plane and made up some bullshit story. Anyway, I got so pissed off, I just canceled the rest of the day and made a call to the folks down in Torrance who at a place called the Airplane Factory, who make the Sling 4 aircraft. And so I asked the guy when I could come and fly. He said, how about if I come and pick you up today? And we did. And so I wound up flying that little Sling 4, and it was a little 4-seater on paper, not not nearly as spacious as the Cirrus. But I got in that plane and decided right then and there I was going to get my instrument rating, and I did, and it was one of the best things I did. So thank you, Tim, for the kind words. You're too kind. This machine is a great golf trip transporter, but would get much less use without the IFR. I was out playing golf with a couple of my buddies today, and we'll be heading out to Palm Springs later this week. Me and two buddies who swore they were never going to fly in a little airplane. They're coming with me on Wednesday to Palm Springs. Check out Morro Bay ahead. Let's go check out Morro Bay. MQO. 741 Al. Just started instrument and commercial training. Keep up the good work. Well, good luck to you on all that. Now, let me ask you, the commercial training, you get that if you want to be a CFI, I guess. All right, let's come back indoors and check our instruments here and everything. We got blank to callus for 3.8 miles. We're still looking good. Everything's in the green. Instruments, or the engine instruments are good. Everything's solidly in the green here. And where are you located, Cape Boys? Where are you based out of? Oh, thank you, Adnan. I appreciate it. I love talking about flying. Don't get me started on golf either. My wife once said it best. She goes, you know, Steve, you're a funny guy. She goes, you either give a shit a lot or you don't give a shit at all. And two things I really love is golf and flying. And again, as my wife has pointed out, she goes, those are two things that you'd be quite happy to do all by yourself all day long, Steve. And that's not totally untrue, but I will say that both golf and flying are much, much, much more fun when you can do it with friends. How do you feel the differences in the Torque Sim G1000 versus the Perspective Plus in your plane, the extra twisting and the sim drive you nuts? Actually, you know what, Nick? The SR22TN in the Torque Sim is a G5 setup. And so there's some subtle differences in there in the GCU. Let me just flip over here. There's some subtle differences here in the GCU and so forth. That problem's about to go away in about a week or two. I'm getting a GCU with a G6 Perspective Plus setup, which requires a little bit different autopilot controller. But once I have that, all of my memory with my hands pretty much is the same. There's some differences in the software in terms of how the checklists work and so forth. So it's funny, if I spend enough time on the sim when I get in the plane, I'm a little awkward at first. When I get back in the sim after flying the G6, I get a little awkward. But it's all basically the same stuff here. And I think for the basic functions of IFR, the SR22 sim exceeds anything out there on the market. Coronado, they make great looking planes, just like the dumb blonde, you know, that looks great, but you can't talk to her when you're done. And, it's crazy. And so they've done a really good job. I use VNav a lot. I use the long track offsets. I use VNav direct a lot when I'm flying. And those kind of things are there. They're kind of muscle memory. There's a whole lot of other stuff in the G6 Perspective Plus that's just awesome, that I wish I could spend some time with the Torque Sim guys and convince them to do it. Let's see what else we got here. My confusion, I'm sure, but the PFD shows over water. No, actually, we're over land on the PFD right now. Now there's a little bit of lag here. Here's where we are. That looks like dirt to me. And the MFD is showing inland. Is that correct? Yeah, they're both showing the same as far as I can tell. Golfers are white hot and ping all the way. I'm a Callaway iron guy. Actually Callaway woods as well. Scotty Cameron putter and Vokey wedges. Bad 3 handicap. Used to be a much better player before I started flying. What did you think of the SF50? I saw you fly way back. Tim, if you can fly an SR-22, you can fly a Vision Jet. I freaking loved it. In a word, I freaking loved it. Almost made me go back to work. It's the design of the cockpits for the Cirruses are off the hook, and they just are that good in my mind. You know, I tell my buddies, they ask me what's it like flying in your Cirrus, and I tell them it's like a Tesla with wings. Just everything is nice and clean as a whistle. Nothing's out of place. And whenever I see other planes, the first thing I look at is the cockpit, and everything is nice and tidy, and it's just everything where it wants to be. You know, I can put my keys, you know, up top, you know, where I want them. I can, just everything about it I love. The only thing I wish that the Cirrus had is a pressurized cockpit. When I go up to altitude, you're reminded that even the cannulas and the oxygen mask is a little cumbersome and not very comfortable. Tim, if you don't want to get a Cirrus Vision Jet, if you're lucky enough to be able to handle that, I would suggest don't get in one. They're really awesome. And what's interesting about the Vision Jet is that it flies just like a regular Cirrus. When you're coming in on final approach, the numbers are very similar. One thing I did learn when I flew it ever so briefly is that there's a little bit of lag between you pushing that jet engine forward and it kicking versus, you know, the piston engine. Not something that took a whole lot of time to get used to, because I think, you know, my friend Liz, where are we going here? Okay, there we are. My friend Liz, my former instructor, the gal who was in the video with us, is she now is the Cirrus sales director out here in Southern California. And Liz, Texas Lizzie I call her, was my flight instructor for my PPL all the way through my instrument rating. And I can recall when she first told me that she was thinking about going to work at Cirrus, and we had a nice chat about it, and she asked me what I thought, and I told her I thought it was a great move for her, and I was going to be sad as hell that I couldn't have her flying with me anymore. And so anyway, I'm going to plan a flight in the real plane with Liz shortly, and kind of get the band back together. The TBM 910 GF G2. They both have one engine. I think the TBM might go a little bit farther. I think it's not accidental that Cirrus is selling, at least from what I understand, I could be wrong about this, they're selling the bulk of those Vision Jets to Cirrus pilots, which doesn't surprise me because it's nice and easy to do. And had I started flying 10, 12 years ago when I was still working, and I worked in the music business where I traveled a lot and worked with a band. And I think if back in the heyday then there was a Cirrus Vision Jet and I was flying, I would have had a Vision Jet. No question about it. Very roomy inside. Room for your dogs. Sit on the floor. My wife and I, got in a mocked-up Vision Jet at a Cirrus event. Was that for 8 Foxtrot Sierra? Okay, we're starting to get into back down in SoCal. I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna go back. I'm kind of listening. I've muted the ATC audio for you folks. I'm trying to listen in the other ear here. Can you provide your current location and time of arrival? Right now, I'm a little bit north and west of Santa Maria, which should put me into LA about, I want to say, an hour, 50 minutes probably. Says K4 said, hold your place in line. Not sure if I heard right. 50% off the cost of the exchange. Yeah, I think the plane, when you first put in your deposit, the plane was meant to be $1.2 million, if I'm not mistaken, and that's what they had to sell them for. Got to hop off. Thanks for the info and keep putting up the video. Thank you, Tim. Good that you could make it here tonight. Skadoodles, I'm guessing this is Microsoft Flight Sim. Wrong. This is X-Plane 11. Thank you, Cutherman. Okay, bye. All right, well, not a fan of X-Plane 11. Must have looked good enough to keep him around for a minute. Sorry to see you go, Skadoodles. Glad you decided to stay at Skadoodles. I wish Microsoft Flight Sim had.
Not sure what he's doing. He should not be turning that way. He's supposed to be going southbound. Just keep an eye on him. We'll fly that eye down at 3,000.
All right, folks. Here's the part of flying. If it all goes smoothly, there's a lot of dead time. Now, typically, I'm not going to do it here today because I'm just kind of concentrating on keeping all this stuff together here for the sim. There's actually more going on here, trying to monitor the sim and the stream and all that than there is in the real series. But what I typically do is I'll just show you real quick here. I'm going to try to work it into a video. I'm going to go to the checklist if you can see it right there, and I'm going to go down to descent. Okay, let's go back up one to flight. Let's go to flight and in-flight emergency procedures here, right? So let's go down one and let's go to engine failure in flight, for example. One of the things that you can't do is easily in a real plane. Says, I have no idea who the hell you are, but I subscribe. Well, thanks, Skadoodles. I don't know who you are either, but I'm happy to have you.
The traffic's just in the pattern of that. No factor for you. Contact moving tower 1.7.
Shashan Lee says, fuck. All right. Did I say that? I'm sorry. Anyway, back to what to do with your time when you're in the plane. One of these, I'm going to try to do a video. I'm going to hit kill the ATC here for a second. One of the things I'd like to do is start practicing emergency procedures up here in the plane on the sim. And one of the reasons why is because you can hit the pause button and kind of work through it step by step, which is helpful for me. And so anyway, if this goes well, I'm going to try to post some other videos. Like I mentioned earlier, we're about to go into another COVID shutdown here in California. Things are getting a little wacky. So I'll be spending a little less time in the air, and a little bit more time here on the sim. So anyway, that's what we'll do. We'll come back to those. Let's get back to flight here. Let's go to normal takeoff. Let's get back to our descent checklist. And go back to the flight plan. Okay. Is it realistic to clear out the routes behind you? Not necessary. Once you pass them, you're done. They're like water under the bridge. Sir Patrick. K-Voice, I stumbled on your channel because of my obsession with Cirrus. Incubus was a bonus. Oh, you're an Incubus fan as well. Wow, okay. Well, if you bought a record or a ticket, let me thank you for your support over the years. I remember back in the old days of that, I remember I screwed up the blue runway every time you landed. Splash. Ouch, I don't want to splash. I was never a big ocean fan. My idea of an ocean is off to the side of Pebble Beach, Cypress Point, or Torrey Pines. That's about as close as the beaches I want to get. Oakland Center, Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra, level at 11,000, just checking in. It's funny when we were flying.
It'll be at some point after San Marcos while you're on Victor 186. Actually, I'm probably not going to change you over until you get much closer to Thelma.
You got it. Just want to make sure I didn't miss something. 85 Trust you. Thank you. Jimmy, it's approaching my bedtime. What time is it right now? It's 10 after 8. Sleep tight there, Jeremy. Curtis, Zach, I remember back in the old days. Curtis, you were on there this morning when I was playing around. Sorry that you were waiting for me and I left you hanging. I'll tell you one thing, folks, that I love about this live ATC net, and I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. I think one of the biggest challenges for me when I first started flying was getting comfortable talking to ATC, and I'm not typically a shy guy, but I always felt like I didn't want to do something dumb, you know, or was afraid to ask dumb questions. And what I figured out is that it's better to feel dumb than dead. So whenever in doubt, I ask the question. I'll ask him to repeat, you know, an instruction. You might have noticed that I've had a few people comment that I talk really slow and deliberate when I'm talking to ATC 768 Foxtrot Sierra, and that's not an accident. I do that because I think subconsciously it tells those guys, all right, this guy's a little slower, so we're going to give it to him nice and easy, and it makes just everything a lot smoother. Back to Cape Voice, bought all of them in the end. You bought all those records. Light Grenades is a favorite for sure, but Morning View was the first record I bought. I have such wonderful memories of the whole Morning View. Not just the music, but, you know, one of the fun things about being involved as a manager is you get, it's fun sometimes and not so fun other times, but you get a chance to get behind the curtain and see how things are going. And at that point, the guys had all just moved out of their houses. Their first real apartment for a couple of them wasn't really an apartment. It was this big house in Malibu called Morning View. And we set up shop there, and recorded the whole record there. The guys had been out on the road for the better part of 2 years previous to that, so it was really their way of still staying together but not being in a bus, and every day it was spectacular. I drove out there, must have been 30 times during the recording sessions, and that drive up the Pacific Coast Highway is just, if you don't live in California, you might not appreciate it as much, but it's just a spectacular drive and almost zen-like. So when I think of Morning View, it was really probably the high point for me in many ways, and I think for the band as well. So anyway, thanks for supporting the guys on that. Torque Sim, I grew up with Incubus, my favorite band. Funny how things work. I bought your CDs, you bought my Cirrus. Is that a Torque Sim developer guy? I'll tell you what, If that's, is that, I'm hoping that guy's from Torque Sim. Torque Sim, are you one of the developers of this fine Torque Sim product here? I'd like to buy you a beer and tell you a couple things I'd love to have on your update list on the Cirrus Perspective side of things. I think you guys have done an amazing job. Amazing. Here, I bought your CDs. You bought my Cirrus. That should have been the name of an album. All right. Yes, it is Steve McKenzie. Steve, I'd love to actually chat with you or text with you, get some more information. In fact, I'd love to interview you one day. Before I started flying, I used to have, after I started managing Incubus, I used to have a little web show about the music business called Red Man Live. And we used to interview all kinds of people, artists, professionals, agents, managers, you name it, some of the top people in the business. And so I stopped doing that a couple of years ago when I started flying. I just couldn't spend time on both. And so in some strange way, my new obsession, passion about flying always ends with me wanting to meet smarter, more experienced, more talented people than myself. So I'm going to get that down here right now. Thank you, Stephen. And Stephen at TorqueSim.com. God, I'm going to send you a note, my friend. And where are you based out of, Stephen, you guys? Okay, I can make sure everything's working properly here. Let me get in here, pay attention here. Okay, let's switch tanks. I think we're probably due for a little switch in the tanks. Let's flip it over there. Okay, let's flip that tank over to the right. Uh-oh, my tank's not switching here for some reason. Okay, there we go. Oh no, something didn't work right there. I want a pet raccoon, Skadoodles. Skadoodles. You want a pet raccoon? You're not one of those internet wise guys, are you? Oh, I'm in Ann Arbor, Coop, Seattle, and Maris is in Frankfurt. Wow. Power of the web, huh? All right, well, I'm going to send you a note, Stephen, and touch base with you. So, but anyway, thanks for all your help on Incubus over the years, and I'm happy to say we had a lot of amazing fans with that band, and I had a chance to meet them all over the world. Hopefully, for all the Cirrus fans, we parted company about 5-6 years ago. But for all those Incubus fans out there that have been dying to see the band, hopefully all the bands will be back in action in 2021. We shall see. I'll tell you, for again, not just because he's Go Blue, Michigan grad, USC here. Forgive me, all you Big Teners. Big 12, I guess now, right? I'll say one thing about the Torque Sim model again. I fly a G6, so it's a little bit different. But the numbers and all the stuff on the engine side is really pretty darn close to the real thing. And the fact that you guys have got the pathways in there. At first time I saw that, I thought, oh, this is awesome. The synthetic vision and all that stuff, really, really great stuff. So I don't know how you did it, but kudos to you, smart guys. I fly the Mooney package. One of my young flying buddies in Santa Monica is in the next parking space over from me. He's got a Mooney. He's a golfer. He also has a boat. Flies around, boats around. I don't know how he pays the bills because he's always flying or sailing and playing golf. All right, we're heading up. We're getting into familiar territory now. we're up over Santa Barbara, which is off to our right. Let's see if we can go point over there. There's Santa Barbara. Coming up. Beautiful town, Santa Barbara. Just love it. And there's, look at these X-plane guys. Look at, beautiful.
LA Center, 71421 Lima. Just gonna step away from the computer for a second. Got it.
All right, getting a little lag on my computer now here. We're down to 186, 200. My water here again. I agree with Andrew there, Stephen. If there was a G6 model of the torque sim, that would be awesome. And if you need a G6 to test things in, I'll volunteer. All right, so now I'm going to take care of a little business here while we're messing around here. So let me get back down here. I'm going to go flip you up close so you can see what's going on here. I'm going to give you a little, get the hands in there again. Okay. One of the things I like to do is stay ahead of the old ball game here by putting in my frequencies. So right now you can see I've got 119.15 loaded. That's the ATIS for Santa Monica. So I'm going to also put in 0.1, which is a tower frequency for Santa Monica. And this is something for all the folks that are just getting into their IFR. The one thing I could say that just made a big difference is staying ahead of the ball game so that things aren't rushing at the end. So having your frequency set for the very end of the flight is important. So I like to have, so all I got to do is hit mic 2. Hold My Beer made the G6 model freeware. That, by the way, they did a great job. The Hold My Beer folks on the Cirrus model. The issue I thought with the G6 for Hold My Beer is that the instrument stuff, the engine stuff wasn't on target. It looked great, it flew great, it had all the bells and whistles. They did an amazing job on it. But the stuff that really matters, does the plane fly or mimic your own plane? It wasn't quite on the money, and all the while I was looking at the Hold My Beer, I kept hearing about on the Real Sim Gear site the new torque sim thing, and they were posting updates, and it looked very interesting. And so when I finally got it, I was ready to be unimpressed, and I was as impressed as I could be. So I haven't flown the Hold My Beer. I haven't flown the Hold My Beer since then. So anyway, go figure. All right, so we got about a half hour left to go here. Video games be like Planet Bone. Skadoodles, come on. Are there jets in the game? I like flying in War Thunder. All right, Skadoodle, I think I know you. Okay, our engine instruments are good. Okay, now we're getting inside Santa Barbara on our way down the shoreline. This is where whenever I take a long trip, particularly north of LA, this is where I start to feel like I'm getting back in my home neighborhood, where you can almost... This is where where you feel like you're heading the home stretch here. So anyway, it also gets a lot busier down here typically. So these guys on Pilot Edge are doing a great job. But as we start to get past Santa Barbara on the way in to LA, the radio traffic gets really nonstop. Okay, let's come back in the cockpit here. All right, so here's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to hit COM2 and start monitoring Santa Monica weather. Okay, I can't get it very good right now, so I'm going to cheat a little bit and go on Flight. Somebody asked earlier about the difference between the Perspective Plus, real and the Torque Sim, and I don't expect the Torque Sim guys are going to sort all this out. But the data link weather that you get through XM is amazing because you can kind of cheat ahead and see what the weather is, and then really all you got to do is pick up the identifier and find out what runways they're landing on. But it gives you a lot of comfort along the way, and it's something that I check pretty frequently when I'm flying on my own. So I can see right here for Santa Monica right now the weather is 050 at 3, which is a little bit of Santa Ana, I think, but not much. It's clear, and the altimeter is 3008, and it's a rare day that we're not landing on 21 in Santa Monica. Jim Shooting Stars, is this a video game? Jim Shooting Stars asks. I think it would technically qualify as a video game, but I think it probably is better described as an aviation learning tool, training tool. It's what I use it for, to get sharper on my flying skills. And so I guess every simulator, whatever it is kind of a video game, but this one I think is less game and more business. Hope that answers your question, Jim Shooting Stars. I take it you're not a pilot, Jim Shooting Stars. Cross Fillmore at 9,000, 3007 for LAX, 8550, thank you. Okay, so now let's go down to Fillmore here. 8 Foxtrot Sierra here. Cross Fillmore at 10 miles before Fillmore at 9,000, 3007 for Burbank, 8 Foxtrot Sierra. Okay, let's put in 3007. Okay, now here's the little crossing. So here's where, let's see. So I'm going to need to make a ATK offset here, 10 miles. Oops. ATK offset. Not letting me do it. Okay, there's my minus 10. Let's see if it's going to get. And I want 9,000. Enter. Okay, so now what I've done, I've put in a long track offset in there. Let's see if we can go up close here. And so I'll do a VNAV direct to 9,000 there. So let's see if that's going to work. So this VNAV direct. I'm going to set vertical nav. I'm going to set VNAV down here, and I'm going to dial in 9,000 for right now. Oops. 9,000. And we'll be doing our, let's go vertical speed, run 500 feet. All right, so now we are setting ourselves up, and we're going to be doing that. Now, normally in the actual plane, it would have gone down and showed me a little something before that. So let's figure this out. Okay, now we're getting busy here. Okay, so now let's put in our procedure here, Victor. Okay, so I went missing on you there for a second because I had to catch up on some stuff here. All right, see you later, Skadoodles. Okay, so we should get there. I'm going to pull a little bit of power here and pull it back to about 65, 70%. You don't need to be screaming through here. We're starting to get into the terminal area here. Sync up our heading here. Okay, so we got Bravo. All right, so All right, let's go down to com. Let's go down here. Let's switch over. We got 121.9, which is our ground frequency. So now we got tower in 1 standby. We got ground in standby 2. Let's go back up top. Okay. Now we're starting to get into the terminal area here. 134.28 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you. Cal approach Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra level 9,000. Clear direct Van Nuys, maintain 6,008 Foxtrot Sierra. Lost my flight plan here. Okay. Correct. Enter, enter. 090. Actually, I'm having a little problem with the same here, but I'll get it going. 090 it is. Traffic 8 Foxtrot Sierra. I'm just going to stay right on 0908 Foxtrot Sierra. I don't have them inside 8 Foxtrot Sierra. 20 degrees left, 0708 Foxtrot Sierra. Flight 1008 Foxtrot Sierra. All right, so we're letting that plane slow down. Sorry, the citation is me. Okay, that was you, Andrew, coming up my rear. I can't figure out how to spot traffic in the X-plane, to be honest. Uh, 30 degrees left going 07, 08, 5.0. We're going to Santa Monica, cousin. I know it doesn't look like it right now, but that's where we're heading. Okay, so I got our speed down a little bit. 100 looking for the traffic, 85.0.
Yeah, he hasn't disconnected yet, so he just stopped there. It looked like he was glitching out or something. I'm not sure what's going on there. Just keep your head up.
I'm not sure I figured out how to spot traffic on X-plane, but I'll look for him. All right, there's where we go. Sir Patrick answered, did I lose my flight plan? Something went wrong. I lost the flight plan over there. I don't know why, so I had to rebuild it quickly. Actually, good practice for All right, so you notice I'm flying kind of slowish through here because that's the key to getting on the Santa Monica. It just they pop you down there quickly. So we're still over Santa Monica, or he's going to put me over Burbank. It looks like heading for Whiteman Airport. So normally would have been turning to the right by now, but it's going a little bit crazy.
Over 216 Delta Golf, SoCal approach. With to San Diego Airport as filed, maintain 4,000, expect 5,000, 1 after departure. Departure frequency 127.4. Squawk 5457.
Let's get 3008 for Santa Monica. Let's get that in there.
To San Diego as filed, altitude 4,000, expect 5,000.
Okay, our altimeter set. Cabin, let's get our landing light on here. Fuel system. Let's go to the left tank here. All right, that's not working properly, so let's figure that out. Okay, mixture's good. Brake pressure I got. Oxygen good. Let's go. Seatbelts are good. Fuel pumps. We're gonna get there. Okay, flight plan back here. Pull back a little bit more to 45-ish here. That'll be 2-1 Cutherman. Descend maintain 5,000, 85 knots here. You got it, appreciate it, 85 knots here. That's a CSL. I appreciate that. I'll do that when I'm done. Thank you. 85 knots here. Looking for the airport. I got it inside 85 shots here. Clear for the visual approach 21, 85 shots here. Thank you. Heading down right now, 85 shots here. 120.1, 85 shots here, thank you. Santa Monica Tower, Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra, inbound with Bravo. Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra, inbound for 21 8 Foxtrot Sierra. 21 clear to land, 8 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you.
Checking in to uniform, be advised here, violation of Urban Class Charlie airspace. We need to look at the approach to Ant Class Charlie. Approach frequency is 135, question 134.2.
3427 back. Match to the uniform.
No problem.
Western Tower Cherokee, Flight Charlie, clear for runway 16 right, taxi to GA ramp.
Cherokee Flight 7 Charlie, parking via Alpha, this frequency head good night.
Taxi via Alpha, this frequency, good night, thank you.
Santa Monica Tower, 8 Foxtrot Sierra. I'm going to need to go around. I'm a little hot coming in here. Left traffic for 21 8 Foxtrot Sierra.
Short final runway 21.
Left traffic 21 clear to land, 8 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you.
Palomar Tower, Skyhawk 305 Whiskey, we're 4 miles to the north, inbound landing with information Bravo.
Skyline 305, Papa Whiskey, Palomar Tower, report right down with Midfield runway 24.
Report Midfield right now with for 24, 305 Papa Whiskey.
Southwest ground. Cessna Skyhawk 2207 Echo. Requesting a southeast departure.
Hello.
Ground, take position. The man with the Delta taxi to parking via Alpha, this frequency, best look at 7. One of the three, we already contact, verbal departure.
kinds of weird stuff going on here now. All right, let's see if I can get it together here. All right, there's the airport. Jeez. Gotta get all my flaps down here. That's weird. The flaps don't want to go down.
Climb VSC, request maintain 5000. Departure frequency 125.2, flag 2673.
Santa Monica Tower, 8 Foxtrots here. I'm going to have to end my flight here. Something's gone seriously wrong with the sim here, so I can't get it landed, but I want to thank you for your help. Thank you. Wow, that is really strange what's going on. The flaps don't come down. All right, folks. Not a great way to end. Something, I don't know what I did wrong there. But the flaps wouldn't go down. Power was going all over the place. And so my wife's calling me, so I'm going to give it a go here, and we'll land it on the next one. Thanks for joining me here today. That was a lot of fun talking with you guys, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Talk to you later. Let's go back up top here.